Have you ever met someone who seems like they think the world revolves around them? Maybe they're constantly boasting about their accomplishments, always need to be the center of attention, or even seem completely indifferent to how others feel. Well, you might be dealing with someone who has narcissistic traits. But here's the thing, narcissism is more than just arrogance or self centeredness. It's a psychological phenomenon that's deeply rooted in our behavior and it's more common than you think. So, today we're going to break down the psychology of narcissism and how it impacts our relationships, behavior, and mental health. So, let's start by defining what narcissism actually is. You've probably heard the term before, but it's often misunderstood. Narcissism is a personality trait that involves an excessive need for admiration and a lack of empathy for others. It can also include grandiose fantasies about one's importance as well as a sense of entitlement. But here's the catch, not all narcissism is the same and it comes in different forms. Psychologists have identified two types of narcissism, that is, grandiose narcissism and vulnerable narcissism. So let's break down these two types. Grandiose narcissism is what most of us think when we imagine a narcissist. So these individuals tend to be outgoing, confident, and sometimes even arrogant. They crave attention and validation from others, often boasting about their achievements and tend to believe that they are superior to others. Think of the person who always steals the spotlight in a room, the one who can't keep talking about their success. They have an inflated sense of self-importance and they expect others to admire them. So, coming to vulnerable narcissists, they are a bit different. They may not seem as loud or attention-seeking, but their narcissism is still at play. They tend to feel deeply insecure and fragile on the inside, but they still crave admiration. They are highly sensitive to criticism and often become defensive or withdraw when they feel rejected. This form of narcissism can be harder to spot, but it's just as impactful. Let's look at a common example to understand this much better. So, imagine you're in a meeting at work and there is one person who consistently takes credit for the team's accomplishments. They exaggerate their role and highlight their ideas as though they were the only ones who contributed, and they bask in the praise while others remain silent. This is a classic sign of grandiose narcissism. They want to be seen as the best and they're willing to manipulate the situation to make that happen. Or you can think about social media. There's always that one friend who only posts the perfect parts of their life. The glamorous vacation photos, the flawless selfies, or the extravagant meals. They might even stage their posts to make their life look more exciting and successful than it really is. But behind the scenes, they're constantly checking how many likes and comments they've gotten, and they might feel deflated or angry if their posts don't get the attention they expect. This too is narcissistic behavior, the constant need for external validation. So why do you think people develop narcissistic tendencies? It doesn't usually happen overnight. Narcissism is thought to be a result of both genetics and early childhood experiences. Research actually shows that narcissism can develop from early childhood experiences. For example, a child who is excessively pampered and told they are the best at everything might grow up with a distorted sense of self-importance. On the flip side, a child who is constantly ignored or criticized could develop narcissistic traits as a way to protect themselves from feelings of inadequacy. In both the cases, the child learns that love, attention, and admiration are conditional upon them being seen as special. Sometimes these children may grow up believing that they need to be perfect or constantly perform well in order to gain affection or avoid rejection. As they enter adulthood, these patterns stick with them and they may continuously seek external validation to maintain their fragile self-worth. So, how do you know if someone has narcissistic traits? Here are some signs to look out for. So the first one is the constant need for admiration. They always want attention and praise from others. And the second one is sense of entitlement. They believe that they deserve special treatment regardless of the situation. The third one is lack of empathy. They struggle to understand or care about others' feelings. And manipulative behavior. Narcissists will often manipulate situations or people to get what they want. And the fifth one is exploitative relationships. Narcissists often view relationships as tools for their personal gain. So let's say you have a friend who's always asking for favors but never returns the favor. Or maybe they make you feel guilty for not helping them. There's narcissistic behavior at work. These people, they view relationships based on what they can get out of them rather than giving or caring for the other person. So, how do you deal with narcissists? Now, let's talk about how you can protect yourself if you're dealing with a narcissist in your life. First of all, set clear boundaries. Narcissists often push limits to get what they want, so it's important to be firm and assertive about what you will and won't tolerate. And second, don't take it personally. Narcissists' behavior is more about their own insecurities than it's about you. Third is avoid being their emotional caretaker. Narcissists, they tend to take more than what they give. So don't let yourself get drained trying to fix their emotional needs. And lastly, don't try to change them. Narcissists are unlikely to change unless they seek therapy. So focus on protecting your own mental health rather than trying to change their behavior. So understanding narcissism is the key to managing relationships with people who exhibit these traits. It's important to recognize that narcissism exists on a spectrum, and not everyone with narcissistic traits has a full-blown personality disorder. But if you find yourself constantly giving more than you're receiving, or you're feeling emotionally drained by someone, it's time to reevaluate the dynamic. So I hope this video helped you guys to understand the psychology behind narcissism and gave you some tools to cope with if you're dealing with narcissistic behaviors in your life. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and leave your experiences in the comments if you have ever dealt with a narcissist. So yeah, on that note, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.